Solve the rational inequality and then write the solution in interval notation. We have 1 over x squared plus 15x plus 56, which is greater than 0. So if we take a look at this rational inequality, we have 1 over x squared plus 15x plus 56, which is greater than 0. Well, we have a rational inequality with one term on the left side and we have a 0 on the right side. But this denominator, we still need to kind of simplify that further. We need to factor that denominator. Okay, so we know that in the numerator we have 1. Okay, so how do we factor this? Well, if we create our x, we know that our number is 56 here, and then the value here is 15. So what two numbers can we multiply to get 56? And when we add them together, we get 15. Well, that is 7 and 8. So therefore, this factors to be x plus 7 times x plus 8. So in the numerator, we have a constant, so we don't have a critical point according to the denominator. According to the numerator. Now for the denominator, these are going to be restricted values because we cannot, it'll make the denominator 0. So we are going to set x plus 7 times x plus 8, and we're going to set that equal to 0. So we have x plus 7, which is equal to 0, or x plus 8, which is equal to 0. So we have x, which is equal to -7, or x, which is equal to -8. So therefore, those are our critical points. So now let's draw our graph. So we have 0, see -8, and then -7. So now we're going to create our regions. So we have a region 1, we have region 2, and then we have region 3. Now, since the symbol is greater than, and these are restricted values, we're going to be using parentheses for all the intervals. So it's going to go from -∞ to -8. So -∞ to -8. And then in region 2, we're going to go from -8 to -7. And then in region 3, we're going to go from -7 to infinity. So now what we're going to do is we're now going to test. So for region number 1, we can pick the value of x to be -9. And then we're going to plug it in step number 2. So we have 1 over x plus 7 times x plus 8. We want to see if it's greater than 0. So we have 1 over -9 plus 7, -9 plus 8. Well, -9 plus 7 is -2, and -9 plus 8 is -1. Well, this gives us a -2 times a -1 is +2, so this is +1/2, which is greater than 0, and therefore it's true for region number 1. Okay, if we take a look at region number 2, we want to find a value in between -8 and -7, so we're going to pick -7.5. So we have 1 over x plus 7 over x plus and times x plus 8, which is greater than 0. So we have 1 over -7.5 plus 7 and -7.5 plus 8. So we have 1 over -7.5 plus 7 is -0.5. And -7.5 times plus 8 is +0.5. So in the denominator, we're going to have -0.25. Well, this is going to be a negative result, and so therefore it's not going to be greater than 0, so it's false for region number 2. Okay, if we take a look at region number 3, we can pick the value of x to be 0. So we have 1 over x plus 7 times x plus 8. So we have 1 over 0 plus 7 times 0 plus 8. Well, that gives you 7 times 8, which is 56. And 1 over 56 is a positive value, and it is greater than 0. So we know it's true in region number 3. So where is it true? It's true in region number 1 using that interval, and it's true in region number 3 using that interval. And so therefore our answer is the following interval: negative infinity to negative 8, parenthesis, union, negative 7 to infinity.